Your Star Goddess, I'm back. So today I wanted to talk about the deities we work with. Okay, as you all know, I do not worship any deities. I work with deities. I observe the aspects and characteristics of certain deities, gods, goddesses, any goddess or god or deity or Lao I work with. I work with their aspects, like what they represent, the characteristics that I like about them that I want to see in myself. Okay, so I do not worship anything, and I don't fear any of the deities or anything like that, because I am only admiring and honoring their aspects. Okay, because I get a lot of questions about, you know, this and that deity, god, goddess, and I heard this and I heard that, and should I be afraid? If you're not in a religion such as like voodoo, Wicca, or any of those religions that instill boundaries and rules and fears, you know, relating to their deities, then there's nothing really to fear, because you are not under those deities. You work with them on the same level. You are admiring their aspects, their characteristics, and their traits. Okay, so what you admire in a certain deity is what you want to come through out of yourself. Okay, you are, you know, aspiring to have those same qualities. Okay, so for example, everyone knows that I work with Erzuli Frida. I was very drawn to her for a long time, and I love what she represents, and so therefore I work with her. I try to, you know, attain her qualities, her characteristics. I work with her. Everything I would do for myself, I would do like on her little altar that I set up. I'm not going to give her something that I would not give myself. I'm not going to give myself something that I would not give her. So basically it's like alchemy: as above, so below, as within, so without. Saying this, I only use certain products and expensive perfumes for her on my altar, just like I will only use certain things on me. So if I get a squirt of a very expensive perfume that day, so does she. And this just keeps it kind of a good working subconscious relationship, I should put it. So when I work with her, she brings in lots of abundance. She brings in lots of love and comfort. So if I'm keeping myself happy, I'm keeping her happy, basically. So that's how I work with my deity. I don't follow any rule book. I don't follow you know, a lot of things. I do things my own way, because like this is my personal spiritual path, so that's why I choose to do that. So if y'all are gonna request to ask me to make a video about this god or this goddess and this god, I'm not really gonna do it, because I don't work with them, and so I don't really explore their aspects or their characteristics outside of just, you know, the normal knowledge of those type of deities, like, you know, their colors, their character traits, what they represent. If I'm not fully working with them, I'm not really you know, interested in doing a video on them. There are plenty of people that do, but it's kind of like, you know, why do I need to? I don't work with them. So if you want to know more about those type of deities, you have to go do your own research and build a relationship. Okay, and a lot of people do not want to put in work. All they want to do is ask questions, but the questions that you are asking The answers are somewhere, and you have to go find them, because that's part of the work of becoming a more spiritual person. Getting further along on your spiritual path is research, knowledge. You can't just ask the next person, because what if they tell you something and it's not right for you? Okay, so I like, for newbies, I suggest asking less questions and doing more research. Okay, because everyone is on a personal path. So if you're just starting out and you have identity issues of which path to follow, don't follow any. Don't follow any. All you need to do is learn about anything that you're pulled to and drawn to at the time. Okay, anything your mind is curious about, go learn about it. You don't have to be in a set path or a set religion that practice magic. You know, you just have to answer the questions that pop in your head, and this will feed your spirit and that hunger that you have for knowledge. You can't just ask everybody, because that's not really learning, that's just following. Okay, so being a witch, being an alchemist, being a person on a spiritual journey, whatever you want to call yourself, whatever you want to name yourself, just know that it's not about what's on the outside. It's about what's on the inside of you, what you want to become, what you want to manifest, what you want to learn, what you want to do. It's not about anything on the outside. Okay, it's self-mastery. You must master yourself first before you can master anything else. Okay, if you're an emotional wreck, your life is in shambles, and you are trying to focus on everything on the outside of you, when it's the inside of you that needs to be worked on, but you keep looking outside of yourself, then your magic, your manifestations, all the things that you're doing are going to be a result of looking everywhere else but you. Okay, I saw a meme on Facebook, and it read something like, don't take advice from people who you would not trade places with. And I thought that was a pretty good meme, because there are a lot of people out here who are, putting down rules, putting down judgment, putting down, you're doing this right, you're doing this wrong, that's not how you do it. But would you trade places with them? And is their magic actually working better than yours? So you have to ask yourself this: would you trade places with that person? Would you trade their position in life? And if the answer is yes, then that's a good place to kind of get your inspiration from. It's a good place to learn as much as you can without following that person per se, but you do need to find your own path. Okay, so there are a lot of people that I used to watch on YouTube that I would look up to and say, wow, I would trade places with them in a second. They have their stuff together. They might not be spewing out advice, but their actions speak louder than words. You can see, certain things about their characteristics and their personality that made them successful, So I believe a lot of spiritual gurus have said, look to the masters but become greater, or follow the masters and become greater, or study the masters and become greater. And I really believe in that, because you're not worshiping anyone, you're observing. You're absorbing their characteristics, their character traits, their actions, how they do things. They are an example that you want to follow in your own way. So it's not about worshiping them, because worshiping doesn't get you anywhere. If you become them and surpass them, or if you take on the characteristics about them that you like and apply them to your life and to your personality and to your way of thinking, then you can excel just like they did, or you can also represent what they represent. So it's not about worshiping. It's not about saying, oh, I have to honor this deity or they'll strike me down. It's about you becoming as powerful as they are. You're taking on their characteristics. Let's say you need more of a backbone, and you need to stand up for yourself. You start working with a certain deity that is for war, or is for justice, or is for strength, then you'll start to acquire that strength that you need to stand up for yourself and to talk up for yourself and to not take anyone's BS. You will start acquiring the characteristics of those deities, or that particular deity that you're working with. And so a lot of ladies will work with beauty goddesses, love goddesses, and then some will work with goddesses for magic, so they can get more magical, inspiration. Some will work with, darker goddesses, so they can get into that darkness, into that not being so nice to everyone and letting them take advantage of them. They will work with a darker goddess to become stronger as a woman. There are a lot of women out there who, have been victims, have been victimized, have, trusted too many people, have been nice to too many people, and they have to invoke or work with a darker goddess to become a stronger woman. Okay, because like I said, not all that love and light is not going to help you in a world of duality. You need both. Okay, now naturally we are good people, naturally we are good beings. There's something good about everyone, so it's not that hard to embrace the goodness and stuff like that. But it is hard because you've been told that you're supposed to be this way and that way and this way, not to embrace a dark goddess. You need to, I think all women should embrace one dark goddess or work with one dark goddess. So if it comes down to it, you have what you need, as far as character traits from working with this goddess, to stand up for yourself and to not let people walk over you. There's too many women that are nice, and they end up in really bad positions in life because they were too nice when they should have been a little bit more firm and a little bit more stern and not afraid to say no. And so this is why a lot of ladies will work with dark goddesses. Okay, so and a lot of men as well, they will work with a dark goddess or a darker god, a darker deity, to stand up for themselves, to feel more empowered, to feel more masculine. Okay, they will work with certain beings and aspects for knowledge. Okay, so it's not worshiping. I know a lot of people say, "Ooh, y'all worship the devil. Ooh, y'all worship this." We don't worship anything. That's the funny part about it. Only Christians and any Judeo religion worship deities. Like other ones, like pagans, we don't really worship any deities. So that's kind of strange to have, throw insults at people saying they worship something, because we don't worship anything. At least I don't. I know I don't. And no one I know worships any kind of deity. They work with the deities, with their aspects, with their characteristics, with their traits. You'll see a lot of people saying, oh, witches worship the devil. Oh, you work with Lucifer. Oh, you're a Satanist. You worship Satan. We don't worship anybody. Like, if Satan was real, and if the Lucifer, there's Luciferian witches, those qualities about those deities or those beings, some people need, okay? Some people need those qualities to make them a stronger person, to get away from bullies and from being stepped on and from being poor and for living in poverty thinking your riches are in heaven. Some people need certain things to get up and have a prosperous life. So you can't really judge anybody for working with anything because you don't understand it. You just have to understand that, it's not about you. Their spirituality is none of your business. Okay. And I'm not talking to anybody in particular. I'm just saying in general. You'll see a lot of Christians or religious fanatics come to pagan videos, witchy videos, and start typing in the comments, "Oh, I'm gonna pray for you. Oh, you're gonna go to God. Jesus forgives you. Oh, I'm gonna pray for you tonight." And I always tell them, please don't pray for me. Why? Because I'm not with your deity. I don't work with your deity. You saying that you're gonna pray for me is like me saying I'm gonna cast spells on you or do work on you. Now, how would you feel about that? You can't just pray for random people, and you know they don't really pray for you anyway. They just say that to make themselves feel like they're doing something good and judging you at the same time. I call it nice nasty. But really, they're not gonna pray for you. They probably really don't even pray. They probably just go home, go to sleep like everybody else, but puts on a facade and say, oh, I'm gonna pray for you, I'm gonna pray for you, and go home with a bottle of wine, fall asleep in front of TV, praying the next day for the hangover to go away. So y'all, don't let people get to you, and don't, if you're, especially if you're a new witch, don't let people judge you and just laugh at them and say, you know what, thanks, but no thanks. Please don't pray for me unless you want me to cast spells on you. Okay. All right, I'll see y'all later. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new.